Today I wanted to talk about how I am personally getting my writing in. Like I said, not every video on this channel is going to be about being an author, but right now that's one of the things I'm focused on, so here we are. As I talked about in my last video, I am working towards that 33 witchcraft book goal, and I think it's important to address like how I'm gonna get there because my thing is every day writing is the bottom of my to-do list. It's like right there next to exercise. And sometimes I would rather do a workout than write or work on my book. And the funny thing is it's one step. It's the same step every time. You know, if it's trying to actually sit down and write, I can actually bring myself to do that. That's not that bad. Editing, same thing. I can get myself to come work on it, have little chunks to do at a time, but once you get past that stage, then it becomes this gigantic mountain to climb. Because it's at that point that the book is not about the writing anymore, and it's more of the stuff other people are typically paid to do. You gotta do your cover design. Whether or not it turns out good, you know, that's debatable. And, you know, trying to format, that's like a whole project. And then trying to upload the files to make sure you're doing it correctly, and you know, even doing your ebook versus your hardcover and your paperback, like those are sometimes going to be different, and making sure you have the numbers, the ISBN numbers in all of the versions of the file. And now I'm trying to publish through Barnes as well. And like that is such a huge hurdle that makes no sense, because on a logical front it should be the easiest part. The easy part should be to just upload files. It should take like maybe 15 minutes, and I procrastinate it for months because I just hate this part. Like, I love coming up with ideas, outlining, writing it. I don't even mind. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it does get old. But comparatively, I'd rather be there. Even editing, same thing. I can bring myself like, all right, I'm just gonna come, you know, get my husband to work, come home, work on it for like an hour or two. Done. But when it comes to the editing part and the formatting and like the final editing bits of, you know, making sure your paragraphs stay in the same spots they're supposed to, because I swear you fix one thing and then it screws up the whole rest of it and you're like, why? It shouldn't have mattered. Whatever. So, you know, playing that game, and then I don't know, it's just something about having to deal with the systems, going to the websites to actually publish. I don't know, I've just been avoiding it. And like, it's the final steps for this final book that I've been meaning to do for like almost a year now. And I look at my notes of like, I'm ready to go to the next one. Like, there's notes that I'm gonna be taking from this for my next book I'm working on, and it's like I'm ready to be doing that. I can get myself psyched to do that, but there's just something about hitting the websites and having to make sure you check your files. Like, it's very admin boring, and I don't want to. And I think that's the thing of just acknowledging that it's like, I literally, this is the part I hate the most. And maybe just naming it will be enough to just actually state I don't like this part. And that for some reason that I still don't understand, it's scary to try to re-log in. And I think it's because Barnes & Noble was very particular. Like, they had to like double check my like social security number and double check like my bank account, and like, was it enough? And now I have a bank specifically for my business stuff, so it's like, do I have to do all of that again? And it just feels so intimidating and so like very professional world. And honestly, at every job I've ever worked, I've always been treated as like the teenage idiot. So it's really hard to like find yourself having to be like your own manager. And this is like the manager stuff to do, where coming up with ideas and writing, that feels more fun and more just like the creative low staff that just does whatever. And this is more of the manager stuff of checking your numbers and having to make sure your tax stuff is set up and ready. And I don't like to do that. And again, kind of going off of the last video, it does make it difficult as well, knowing that it's like, this is the final step. And it used to be like a grief process of like, oh my God, it's getting close to the end of my time with this book. Because once I publish, I really don't go back. And now it's more, maybe, I don't even know that it's that. It's just this deep fear of failing at this next book. Like when I hit publish, you know, the past 2 books have failed so spectacularly. And I realize collectively, that's not a, like, when I look at it objectively, that's a really not good reason to not write. Like, wow, 2 out of 4 books didn't do well. Okay, keep going. Like, the exact advice and attitude I would give to somebody else in the exact scenario, I can't do myself. So I find myself being that person that has to literally have a conversation with your own person to be like, hey, so if another person came to you with this exact situation, what would you say? And it's like, you're getting caught up on 2 books. You've only done 4 in the genre you're working in. That's not a lot. Like, maybe start freaking out at 10, 15. If they all continue, maybe you are in fact doing something wrong. Check in. And again, we've established that check-in point is going to be 33 books. And until that time, I just have to do it. And I think finding that checkpoint and really making it a solid point of reference has helped a lot. And to just keep going, which is something my mom has told me forever, so inevitably when she watches this, I know, Mom, I know. But it's still different when other people tell you until your own brain actually accepts it. You get the neurosynapses or whatever to be like, oh yeah, this is the route that we go down. Yep, that's it for sure. And so I think now I kind of have this thing of, I've also noticed that my peak time to get things done is like first thing in the morning. And that's like after I get hubby to work and I get home, I need to take that time to do the big project of the day, where I can slowly ease into the day, but it's still the hardest thing I have to do. And I can do it slowly, I can do it gradually, but I have to do it first. And that's really hard because I can immediately, the urge is there to do other things. Of like, well, actually it would make more sense to get the video rendering that I need to for the day. So I'll just do that first. And then I do another video. And then I edit another one. And then I should get a couple more books read for the day, right? Like I need to be getting ahead, so I need to do that first. And then I can work on it. After lunch, it'll be fine. And then it's like, oh, but you know, I've got those read, I gotta get those recorded. And then inevitably it comes to the end of the day and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't exercise and I definitely didn't work on my book. And then if I'm picking between those 2, I'm gonna pick working out because I want to be fit and strong way into my old age. I'm not obviously old yet. I'm getting there. To some degree I am because, like, you know, gonna be 30 this year. It's not exactly young, not exactly old. You're in that weird middle ground that lasts for a long time. Honestly, I still feel young. I feel like you don't even get to feel like a grown-up till you're like at least mid-30s, 40s. That's when you're like kind of becoming an adult, like for reals. And then maybe you can start to say that you're becoming an old at like 80. But even then, you know, I want to be, there's people that are in their old age of 70s, 80s, 90s that they're still, like they're more in shape than I am now. They are weightlifting and running marathons and they're really keeping their bodies healthy. And that's what I want to be. So I'm gonna pick doing the things that accomplish that goal over writing every single day. And so I've been really monitoring because I've had it on my to-do list this whole week of like work on book during this time. This, like I have a whole section of my planner for writing and then I just don't do it. And so I was like, you know what? No, you're gonna do it first thing in the morning. And not even every day of the week. I am only working on it in the mornings for my official work days, which is 4 days a week when people are not home. Well, sort of. My mom works from home and we live with her because money. But they have the same schedule now. So when my mom and husband are at work, that's my work time. So I can get a lot done and not feel like I have to tell them to be quiet in the house to record. And I'm not like abandoning them because I'm just spending hours upon hours here in my office to edit or whatever. So 4 days a week to really hone in on getting my to-do list done. And more specifically, first thing in the morning, get him to work, get home, and then work for like whatever amount of time it takes. To be honest, usually it's going to be a minimum of an hour, and at this stage, it would be a fast hour at most. Like, I just have to actually knock off the thing on the list. It's not like a dedicated, like, set a timer for an hour, but more of like, hey, go upload that file, update it. It's gonna take you maybe 3 minutes. Just do it. It's the wall of awful, just do it. If you haven't heard of that, How to ADHD has a video on the wall of awful. Yes, it is my life. And then, again, it might take high end of 10 minutes to log into Barnes because I haven't for so long and see what I need to do. Not even do anything, just find out what I need to do. That, again, is not gonna take, the whole process isn't gonna take an hour for both of those. But I've also procrastinated it because, again, it gets to the end of the day and I'm like, yeah, I could do it tomorrow. It's fine. And I don't want to do that. So this week, I'm trying something different. First thing in the morning, no matter what, I work on this and then I'm going to go work out. That's the goal. Because even this time of the day, I'm literally doing it. Record your videos in the afternoon. It's better for the light anyways. I can't in the morning because the sun hits really weird, especially in the wintertime. And so, you know, it's better to record in the afternoon. Editing, I can get them done really not, I mean, it takes time, but I can do that whenever. I mean, I'm even willing to, like, after I get my husband from work and we get home, go edit another video or two before we have dinner. Like, I'm way more willing to fit that in at any other time, so I've got to stop making that the priority first thing in the morning when my energy to do things for the day is at its highest. And same with reading. Like, I will read all of the time. That's not an issue. And really, if I do good on the off days of the weekend and like in the mornings, I can get through a lot of reading that I then don't have to take that time during my normal work days to do. I can just be doing books, my books, and then video stuff. And so I'm gonna try that out and maybe I'll update you next week and let you know how it went. But hopefully doing that every hour is gonna make a difference. Again, it doesn't have to be an official hour, but like that first time I get home, pour myself like a cup of tea, come in here and work. And that's the first thing I have to do. It's my highest point of energy of the day. And I always try and psych myself and be like, oh, it's not. You gotta ease into the day. You gotta do this stuff first. And it's like the biggest self-sabotage of my life. So no, actually, not that. I need to come in here and work on my book and then I can do everything else in the day. But no, I have to do that first. And again, if I work on my book 4 days a week, that's pretty good because I could easily take, you know, an hour or two every day and get quite a bit done. And then guess what? I am getting closer to that goal that I want to be at. Because I think like my next book I want to write, I can double check it, but I think it's not that many sections, like maybe 12 or 13. So I could get that done in a couple of weeks, working 4 days a week. Let's see, I have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then it'll be a conclusion, so 8. Literally 2 weeks and I could have it drafted. And that's not, I mean, it's a lot of time, but it's not. Because again, for some authors that's like, what? But also, I can usually, I've gotten my writing system down pretty well of each chapter minimum of 1,000 words. And also I can write 1,000 words in about an hour, sometimes less. It comes with practice, it comes with time. And again, I read so much that it's not as big of a challenge. Just like how I read so much, it's a mental muscle that it takes time to get. So I think this will work, especially if I can get 10th book stuff done this coming week, the week you were seeing this, next week start, because if I did that, that's always a good motivator for me, is like if I can look at the calendar and make a schedule and stick with it. Because if I did that, I could literally have my next book drafted before the end of the month. That would be great. And I don't know that I would want to push to try and publish in February as well. But like, maybe, I don't know. I know I do want to publish at least 6 books this year. So maybe that's what I need to do. And it's not going to be like a particularly huge book, but I want it, I just want to write the book that I want to write right now. So yeah, we'll see. But I just wanted to ramble about this. That's what this channel's about. So I would love to know, for people who are also full-time authors, how do you, especially again, self-published indie, how do you do that? When is your like writing time? And how did you figure it out? Because I don't think there's very many of us that did not have a struggle period before you started to really settle into the routine that worked for you. I would love to hear about yours in the comments below, and I will see you in a couple days, or I guess next time. I don't know what the ending of these videos is going to be, but I will see you next time for another rambly discussion.